EU5 is almost here, and I am nowhere near completing all of the EU4 achievements. But I'm still going to try my best to get as many as possible before the new title drops. Today we're probably playing one of the strongest nations in Africa at the start of the game, Tunis. Why Tunis? Simple. Piracy. You get buckets of ducats every 10 years just by clicking one simple button and moving some boats around. This combined with good routes of expansion to the east and the west with a strong Ottoman alliance make Tunis really powerful. So let's get started. Hello everybody and welcome back to another EU4 video. Today we're going to be playing as the nation of Tunis, a rather underrated tag in northern Africa. They are pretty strong at the start, and I will showcase that today. We're going for the Sons of Carthage achievement. We basically need to restore some of Carthage's old holdings by going into Sicily as well as Iberia, so to fight Aragon more or less and Castile, and we're going to become pretty strong. We're also going to be getting another achievement on the side here. This might take a little while, but we will eventually be getting Barbarossa to privateer with 500 lightships at the same time. It is also possible that we could possibly tag switch to the Mamluks at some point to get a couple of the Mamlukan achievements. We will decide if we want to do that later on. Looking at their missions, the first missions that we need to do is we need to make sure that all of these minor nations here do not exist or are owned by us. So they need to be our tributaries or subjects, or we need to own them ourselves. Also, if we have 5 lightships, we get permanent claims on a bunch of things that we're going to definitely need. So we get Barbary Coast, Algiers, like we get claims all over here. I believe we probably also get claims in Sicily. Yes, we do get claims on Sicily that way. So building lightships, super important. We might be actually able to do that with our states. We'll have to take a look and see. So definitely constructing lightships is a priority at the start. Let's go ahead and set our states up right away. We're going to be taking all of the mana privileges. I think that's just super valuable. I'm a big fan of the negative piety going towards mysticism versus going for legalism. I think that mysticism is definitely a little bit stronger. The legalism gives you tax modifier, manpower modifier, tech cost. Those are pretty good at the start of the game. But the mysticism has the interaction where you can get the manpower, which is a little better than the corruption reduction. So if we can go towards mysticism, that would be ideal. We can also convert some stuff a little bit easier. We don't have to worry about that at the start, considering that we are mostly going to be invading Sunni lands, but eventually we'll have some Catholic stuff too. So at some point I might take the monthly piety, but we're going to pass on that for now. We'll take the oversight by the ulema, grab the religious diplomats. Those 3 are fine for now. We can add more later if need be. We'll take the mill power. I'll grant the levies right away. That's fine. Right of council. I could give supremacy out. I think I'm going to hold off on that right away. I don't think I need to give too much influence out. Onto the merchant guilds, get the dip power. And we've given out all of our land. Patronage of the arts. I will probably take the money right away. That's fine. Actually, I can hold off on that a little bit. We'll wait on that. And we'll give the free enterprise. Light ships we need to build, so we're actually going to take trade fleets as well. That's super valuable. And going on to the Domini, we're going to be giving out the liberties. And that should probably just do it for now. Then we can go ahead and summon the diet and seize land. This one should be easy enough. It wants us to have this province under our control, so we can go ahead and probably accept that. It's going to give us a bunch of claims. This one gives us a claim on the entire area over in Tlemcen, so we can actually do that as well. Might actually do that one. We definitely need to get our boats constructed, though. In which case, I am going to take the money right away, and we can construct those boats right out of the gate. From our government interaction, we're going to take the core cost reduction for now. That gives us manpower based on our subjects, but we don't have any subjects, so that's not the greatest. We could also go for the tax farming right away. That's also really valuable, but we're going to be spending a lot of admin right away in the early game, so I think that CCR is going to be probably a little bit more valuable. We can always make more money later. Going for the decisions here, taking the title of Khalifa and the sect practices is fine. Get the unrest reduction. Construct the free company right over here, and we're going to move our units over on the border with Algiers and hope they don't get an ally by the 11th of December. And let's take it really slow. I want to play it kind of day by day. We want to start raiding all of the coasts around us, especially of all the Christian nations. We can possibly ally the Ottomans if need be. We might be able to royal marry them right away, but maybe not. Let's start improving relations with them. We can also get another ally somewhere else, maybe to Morocco, try and protect us against the Castilians and the Portuguese, but also Morocco probably will get invaded at some point, and we also need to take some of their provinces too, so I'd rather not ally in the direction I want to expand, but we shall see. Maybe they'll just get weakened and we can declare on them. All right, now we can start getting a bunch of money. That is 33 ducats right there. from raiding the coast. And we're just going to go all over here. I'm actually probably going to take the Maghrebi Corsairs interaction. The privateer efficiency is going to be really good, and the loot's going to go up. So maybe I should have selected that before we raided the coast, but now that we have it, the rest of it should be easier. I'm going to declare war on to Tlemcen. I'm going to co-belligerent Fezzan and Tugar. This circumnavigates our guarantee of Fezzan. So hopefully the Mamluks don't declare on them as well in the process of this war and just take them. That would be really unfortunate, but that'll help us get around that. So I think we just kind of piece these guys out first, and we take Tlemcen later. This fort in Dara and this fort over here is going to be a problem, so I think we definitely just go down this way. I also think that maybe we do accept the alliance with the Moroccans just to start, and we can always break that later. But let's go ahead and declare that war. And let's set our ruler as a general. He seems decent. We'll try and piece out Fezzan first. At some point, these boats are going to finish, and I can get my claims. So that's going to be really excellent. And meanwhile, we're going to keep raiding these coasts. I'd love to have an admiral. Let's go ahead and just get one right now. Perfect. We had an event for our heir to die, and we have a much better one now. He was a 201. Now we have a 552. That is beautiful. Except that royal marriage over here. Taking a couple of big fights over here just to scare them away. We're going to park our mercs back on to this fort here and send the stack back down this way to start and siege this stuff. And our regulars are going to try and eliminate the Fezzan army, and then we can siege them down. These level 1 forts shouldn't be a problem. Once we take care of the miners, we can go into Tlemcen itself. Looks like Morocco has started to go to war with Tlemcen. They're probably going to end up taking majority of what I want, so I need to get over there. All right, let's get our permanent claims from constructing the fleets. You can take a look at those here now. That's a lot of the stuff we actually need, minus the stuff over in Andalusia, so shouldn't be that hard to do. At some point, these guys are probably going to lose the Naples Junior Partnership. That'll make it a lot easier to fight Aragon, so hopefully we can do that before Castile gets a PU on them, and looks like they are rivaled, so might be a little easier this game. Let's piece out Tugart. We can core all of that up. This fort is really useless. I probably should have gotten rid of this a while ago. Start saving some money by getting rid of it. We're going to take out these guys now as well. Be efficient with our time here while we're sieging. It's probably important to keep this map open to the piracy. There might be some provinces that you can loot from that have not been looted from, so keeping an eye on this is important. Looks like we can reach a little bit of Naples and into Greece, so let's go over there and get some money. Probably should have pieced out Fezzan a while ago, but let's go ahead and do that now. I can buy this down one time. It's a little expensive, but we'll do it. And core all that up. Piece out Mazab. Unfortunately, we did have a 2k stack get stack wiped over here, and these guys did not reinforce in time. So hopefully this 3k doesn't have the same problem. Might actually have to run from this one. Yeah, that is unfortunate, but it is all right. We will recover from that, no problem. I want to take all these provinces for myself. Unfortunately, Morocco did take a few of them, and Tlemcen is no longer a tag, but I can definitely core all of these up. A little short on Dara here, but should have enough admin pretty soon to core that up. And then we can slowly start to recuperate ourselves a little bit and push down our mission trees. We're very close to getting the pacified the Berbers, giving the national rest for 20 years, and then that'll let us start moving down into Central Africa here, I guess what you call it, Sub-Saharan Africa, and that can help us funnel some trade up through the desert pass here. All right, let's take all of this, and let's go ahead and pacify the Berbers mission. -2 unrest for 20 years. That should help us with the getting a little more stable over here. Now all we need to do is have a marketplace in Tripoli and have it become a core, and we should be good to go. So to get a marketplace, we need to get another level of dip tech, I do believe, so just have to kind of sit back and wait until another opportunity arises. At some point, we'll have to go back to war with Aragon or go to war with them to begin with. They're allied to Burgundy, but I think if we can get naval supremacy, we shouldn't have a problem there. They also allied to Genoa, that is a problem. Yeah, so we're going to have to play it a little bit safe. On the bright side, the Ottomans will ally us now. So now we're allied to Morocco and the Ottomans. I could use them to help me fight against Aragon. Actually, I think I probably should stay allied with Morocco just for the time being. I don't think they're going to want my provinces just yet. Not quite yet. So as long as we have high relations with them, we should be okay. Then we can use them to go in on Castile and the likes. Granada definitely would never be a vassal, but it could be an opportunity to go to war with them at any point in the future if Castile or Portugal decides to get any ideas. Because if they attack Granada, I won't be called in, so I might be able to attack Granada at the same time. It just depends on what happens there. We do finish the mission for Ottoman diplomacy. We get permanent claims on Alexandria. And I believe is that Cyprus that we get claims on? No, just this area here. So at any given point, we can also go to war with the Mamluks. Of course, we would definitely need Ottoman help, but I think that's more or less an even matchup. Looks like Castile has invaded Granada here. That did call Morocco in. I started building a spy network on them just in case I could swoop in and maybe take Alhambra or something like that. And I also started a spy network on Castile itself, so maybe I can get a claim on America here. So definitely the safe play there. Losing a little bit of money, but we have such a stockpile of cash from the raiding, we should be totally fine to just do whatever with that we want. Once we get our next level of tax, we can just build some buildings, and that should start making us a lot more money. All right, let's speed up our economy a little bit by, let's say, reducing the autonomy in our conquered provinces. It can cause some rebel problems, but nothing we can't handle. We're actually making money. All right, let's start our 5 years ticking. Unfortunately, we probably shouldn't have allied Morocco in the first place, but at some point, we're going to have to go to war with them. They're just going to get their butts kicked by the Iberians, so better safe than sorry. Let's start that ticking now, and we can get our mill tech up to 4. Get the tactics. Renaissance is here, so we can try to buy that from somebody. Maybe we can improve relations with an Italian or somebody, but they don't really like me because I raised their coasts, so we should probably fix that. All right, let's grab this dip tech. We need to construct that marketplace ASAP over in Tripoli. We have money. We can also put one more in the capital. I think that's pretty much all our centers of trade minus Dara here, but we're going to kind of leave that as it is. We don't really need the Safi trade just yet. It looks like the Ottomans are helping Syria in the independence war, so we can probably fight the Mamluks on our own near the end of that war. Venice is attacking Athens and via Byzantium. So it looks like they're more or less going to take a whole bunch of this stuff, and that could mean a weaker Ottomans, which could hinder or help us. It depends on how big the Iberians are going to bully up on us as well. We just kind of need some defensive allies. At some point, a Dal might actually be a good option. I should probably start improving relations with them as well. Don't need any more spy network on Castile, so we'll stop that. And we have 10 favors with Ottomans, so we can get rid of that for now too. Yeah, it looks like our marketplace finished, so we can get the Traverse the Sahara mission. That fills out some provinces over here for us, more or less giving us full cores, and also gives us some claims on air. I do like the name of this mission, though, Airstrike. That is quite funny. We can go and invade them at our earliest convenience to try and push some of the Katsina node trade up towards Tunis. Let's take the Curtail the Nobles here. Get that tax modifier. I'm debating going into the Mamluks now. The Ottomans really aren't winning. They just keep sending units in and losing over in Syria. So maybe the Mamluks is not actually the target. The Ottomans have not had a good start, actually. They've been kind of split between some pretty bad wars. Meanwhile, Morocco is losing to an Aragonese-backed secession crisis over here. Our truce did expire with them. We can go in on them at any point. We might do that instead of fighting the Mamluks and just fight the Mamluks later. I don't see why that wouldn't be an option. I think it's more important to take this stuff before the Iberians do. So if we can take the stuff on the coast, then we can stop Aragon from getting that. And eventually they'll lose the alliances with the Sunnis over here. So that might be the play. All right, let's take this stuff. Honestly, Aragon's probably going to take some land in Morocco. Although Morocco is sieging down Valencia, so you never know what could happen here. Looks like Morocco is actually beating them. They're fully sieged down, but technically they have more war score. At least Aragon is apparently losing. These guys over here might more or less be winning, though, because Sus is the war leader. But I wouldn't be surprised if Aragon just pieces out and leaves these guys on their own, in which case they'd still probably beat Morocco, but then I might actually be able to pick apart these smaller nations and get this region under my control in less time because there's more tags to fight. Looks like the Mamluks just fully annexed their vassal here. So that I think they had full cores on that stuff anyways. But yeah, Ottomans are pretty weak at the moment. They'll be better once they get Constantinople. They'll become a lot stronger. And then I can use them to fight the Mamluks later on in the future. This just was not the right time. Okay, Aragon pieced out with Morocco. They took these two provinces here. Unfortunately, those are ones that I do need. But it's also beneficial because if in a conquest war, I can probably defend these provinces a lot better than I could siege down provinces over here, like in Sicily, that have forts on them, or heading over to Iberia itself. So if I can at least control the strait here, which be a little hard because Portugal controls Gibraltar, but if I can fight on top of like Fez or any of these mountain or highlands forts, I should be able to beat Aragon just by getting the ticking war score. So that is something to look forward to in the future. I could maybe take a little mismatched war there. Let's take all of this from Morocco. We'll leave them with one province here that Aragon or Portugal can't take because it's not on the coast. We'll take 57 ducats as well. Coalition is not really a thing over here. The Maghrebi nations are the only ones that really care. I might be able to actually concentrate over here. I think I will do that. We'll go ahead and do that here, and we'll do that here in Fez, and we'll do that over here as well. And now I think we can core everything just fine. A little low on the admin points, but that is okay. We will get those pretty quickly. Now we're getting to spy network on Marrakesh. I want to make sure I take them before the Iberians get any ideas. I'm spending a lot of admin here in the early game. I should probably now... Yeah, let's get an advisor, just a level 1-1 to start increasing our admin income. I probably should do this. I'll get rid of my leader for the better heir while my heir is young. That, or I could just keep drilling my ruler until he dies. He is leading an army at the moment. Maybe I'll just do that. I don't really want to pay that legitimacy and prestige hit. That's kind of a lot. I guarantee Portugal is going to declare on them as soon as their truce is up here. Looks like it's going to happen in October of 1460, so we need to go now, more or less. We'll make sure our units are on the border and have full morale, and then we can invade these guys and full annex them. It's going to cost me a bit of dip, but I think it's worth it. Also, the admin is going to be a little expensive. Not worried about that. We can always catch up with our new god heir when he is elected, or rather becomes the ruler, after our leader dies. So that is going to be really nice when that happens. Try and be as efficient as possible with our admin in the early game as we can be, and we can try and, I guess we'll be a little late to taking ideas, but I don't think being late to taking ideas is going to be that bad. All right, let's declare the war now. They only have 5k units, so should be okay. It's like a level 3 fort, so we will siege that down eventually, and we'll annex these guys. All right, let's full annex these guys now. Should be able to concentrate out of these states here. Sort by overextension and just slowly core these up. We'll have to deal with the unrest for a little bit, but we should be okay. Our manpower is in good shape. We are going to be making some claims on Sus here. We could use them to possibly more or less a proxy war against Aragon so that they cannot call in Burgundy or Genoa. It's 52,000 plus 14k cav. Not very good, but if I declare on Sus, it's a pretty even fight. So doing that could allow us to possibly take something like the Malta fort, or even get a foothold in Sicily. All right, finally, our ruler died. We did lose a stab, but definitely worth it because our new ruler is really goated. We'll take the bonuses here, and we need to definitely save up for a stab boost. I don't want to be sitting at negative. I want to take the CCR here. I have a lot of full stating to do, and I definitely need that reduction. That 5% is going to save me a lot in the short term here, so... I'm not sure whether or not it is the right move to full state everything right away, or if it is the right move to save for my first idea group. I'm leaning towards going quantity first, just to get more men. I think that's just gonna save me against a lot of the powers that be in Europe here. Of course, my units are not as strong as theirs, no matter what. Pretty much I can do, because just the unit types are weaker than the Western and the European type units, but it's possible that having a high amount of troops is going to help me. I was also considering possibly going maritime at some time in the future, just because if I can stack this blockade and privateer efficiency, that's going to help me really solidify my economy. I can just more or less steal all the Genoa trade without actually having to own the provinces, so I think that is what I should try to do. Okay, I've noticed something that puts me on a clock. Aragon's ruler is female, so there's a good chance that they get the wedding. So I think what I need to do is I need to declare war on Sus. I think I'm going to call on the Ottomans to get their help in invading Iberia itself. And then I'll just use this more or less as a way to get Aragon a little bit weaker before there's a potential wedding. I can probably take Sicily and Malta, as well as Corsica area as well. So it should be a quick war for the Ottomans. They're almost done sieging probably, and then we can invite them into the Sus war. We're going to declare for Tafilalt. We're not gonna make this an even war. We probably lose that. We're gonna declare for Tafilalt. That's the gold mine. We just definitely need that gold province there for sure. We'll take the stuff in Northern Africa for the missions, also making clean borders, and then we're gonna try to land in Sicily if we can. Let's go ahead and send that war deck, and I'm gonna see if I can't actually get some more boats made. 3 galleys. If I can get 5 more light ships, maybe even 2 heavies. They landed some men on my capital, but honestly, I don't know where they're going to go. They're just basically stack wiping themselves. They're way behind enemy lines here. So that was really foolish. I might actually be able to send this stack over to Sicily here. Why not? Right? There's no way Aragon has enough men to... I mean, they only have 12k. So maybe I just march across. The Ottomans are sieging down Aragon's capital, or not quite capital. Their capital's in Barcelona. But they're sieging down the Iberian stuff. Meanwhile, I did call Milan in, and they are basically soaking up all of the attention. So we're able to finally siege down Messina here in Sicily. And hopefully we're able to take what we want. I think from Aragon, what we really want is just 3 things. I want the Malta fort, and I want this. Anything more would kind of be too much aggressive expansion, and we'd start running into problems. Also, the war score cost is really, really high. I could take this whole state, and that would be good. I could take the fort, and that would be good. Maybe I do something like this. I can deal with that. That amount of aggressive expansion is not a problem. I can just fight the Mamluks and kind of just play tall for a little bit. This way, at least I have a fort on Sicily, which will be helpful. So I think that's probably the call. I think this is going to be enough. I'll just take the Malta province for now. They're probably going to get the wedding soon, and I honestly don't want to risk it. I think that we could probably also go to war with the Mamluks soon, so that'd be pretty good. Also, getting this is a lot of extra war score that I really don't... I mean, I guess I can wait till this fort falls. The wall is breached there. We can wait a little longer. All right, these heretics spawned over here, and I think I'm going to leave the province behind. I think what I will do is I'm going to take war reps. That's going to help me, and I'll take as much cash as they'll give me, plus the 3 provinces that I want. I could take these islands, possibly, by grab the war reps, the money. That would put me at pretty much 100. Yeah, there's no way I can get 100. So I think, yeah, just the war ups and the money, I think, on top of this should be good. That'll get me the control of the Barbary Coast for privateer efficiency for 20 years. And we can core up the Malta province. Pretty sure my core exhaustion isn't crazy high. I could buy this down, actually, and save a little bit of money. Or admin. Yeah, I'll save a little bit of admin. So let's cancel this core, and we'll core it back up again. We did get Sunni defectors in this province, I do believe, so we got a free core, which is awesome. We just have to core Oran and wait a day, and we can peace out Sus for everything. We can also take the institution. And that means we can buy admin tech 5 for cheap. And I think we can jump right into the quantity ideas. I honestly don't usually take quantity first, but in this run, we're going to give it a try. All right, now that we're kind of waiting and doing the rebel fighting and chill game, I kind of want to just do another war quick. If we can get onto Alexandria, that'd be amazing. Otherwise, maybe Benghazi would be a better war goal so I can sit on it longer. But let's go ahead and declare war on the Mamluks. What do the Ottomans want from them? Pretty much everything. So if I can just set all these as vital interest, that'd be awesome. I don't really care about anything else. As long as I get this, I should be fine. I can always get more of this later on in another war. But I want to be controlling these wars with the Mamluks, so that way the Ottomans have a shared truce with us. So let's just go ahead and declare that war right away. And we'll call in the Ottos. Ooh. I usually pick the admin one, but right now I'm pretty close to the next mill tech. I can take this, upgrade my cav, and take a look at this. Mamluks are tech 4. Ottomans and I are both tech 6. So if we get into a fight with them, they do not stand a chance. So we should be able to just body them here. All right, let's datify Tafilalt here. I want to make sure that it is a full core, and I do want to bump the dev up here a little bit in the gold mine province. All right, bump it up to 9. That's totally fine. Now we're making quite a bit of money from gold now, 2.83, so that should sustain us a little bit through this war. I mean, we do have a big war chest from raiding coasts, so that's one of the benefits of playing Tunis. I'll be saving my admin to core all this stuff afterwards. Once we kind of solidify our power base down here, I'm going to play a lot taller and just focus on getting a really strong army and economy going. And we're not going to blob out as much, but just getting the blobbing done in the early game, especially in an area where there's not really a lot of land to totally conquer, unless you start invading Europe, which is a little bit difficult in my situation. So this is probably the best route for expansion, just using the Ottomans to fight our common rival. Our Castile finally gets Iberian wedding. Kind of glad that I got this war done with before that fired. Oh, they really recruited some men. They jumped up to 48,000 units. Once the Ottomans start getting these sieges down here, they should be able to draw some attention away, and we can start winning some fights, probably. Dude, their entire stack is sitting right next to me. That is really scary. Notice something pretty good. Turns out Aragon is disloyal, and they have their independence supported by England and Burgundy. Burgundy might get beat up on by France, but it's possible that Aragon gets broken free, in which case they'll be allied to those strong nations, but those alliances typically break after a certain amount of time. And I could actually go to war with Aragon again as an independent nation, which is really a lot nicer than fighting Castile. Okay, I think this is probably the best piece. They still have land access to all our stuff, so that's not, ideal. We could have taken this province here to cut them off from, more or less getting mail access between their areas. But I think taking the Cairo fort is probably the best situation. Also, the trade is very strong there. So let's just send this. Coalition is not really a thing. If I took other peace deals, it might have been a thing. But this way we can concentrate from this state as well as this state. We can go ahead and say conquer Alexandria. This is going to increase the level of trade there by 1. What I could do is I could wait on this. I'm not sure if this gives you different rewards if you upgrade it manually. So I think I might just wait on that, statify this, and then see. Because I do want to possibly form the Mamluks later on. So I want to make sure I get all the Mamluk and culture provinces, or the Egyptian provinces, under my control. That way, maybe I can get a couple other achievements through this run. So yeah, let's definitely put this in a state and upgrade this and see if I can't get this to level 3. Let's finish off Morocco here. We can go into Timbuktu as well, get those maps by just marching around. So let's just go ahead and do that. Send these units to do this, while Ottomans did call us into war with Genoa. They should be able to handle that just fine on their own. Let's grab this big click. The national manpower plus 33% is huge. It comes us from 2675 to almost 35,000. So that's a huge click. And then the manpower recovery speed is going to be awesome. We haven't had any problems with manpower yet this game, but at a certain point in the future, we probably will. So it's better to prepare for that now. All right, let's piece out Morocco for everything plus some money. Wait till our diplomat gets back, and then that tag is eliminated. Make sure to core up everything with overextension here. Now I think we're more or less just going to be playing tall and waiting for the Mamluk truce. We could be going down and raiding the Sub-Saharan nations at any given point, but more or less my conquering is going to be limited. I can find good opportunities to possibly go in and declare war on Castile and Aragon at some point. But until I can find those windows, it's going to be more or less just play tall and slow. Now let's upgrade this. We have plenty of money to do it. And then I want to see if this will still upgrade it by 1. It will. So basically getting a level 3 center of trade for free. Awesome. We have a world port already. It's 1477. Beautiful. Only 6% trade here in Alexandria. A lot of it's just going upstream. I mean, pretty much all of it's going upstream. But at a certain point, I should be able to protect trade pretty well. Doing okay in the Safi and the Tunis node. A lot of this is being stolen by Genoa and Castile. Actually, most of it's Castile and Portugal. Surprisingly. Oh my god, Austria's popping off. They won't compete with Austria. That's ridiculous. Look at this. Austria's got Bohemia and Burgundy now. That's crazy. If they were so inclined, they could PU Hungary, who's actually having a pretty good game. They beat Venice in a war. Oh, weird. Ottomans gave me Corsica? I didn't even notice. Okay, I guess I'll take it. Oh, Minga's collapsing pretty fast. Get Nomad Frontier already. Wow. All right, let's fight air. I think I'm going to vassalize these guys down here and save my governing capacity for my states in the Maghreb. So yeah, that's probably the best use of our time right now. Getting a strong vassal will help us in all of our wars, make us a lot less likely to get declared on, and so I think this is definitely the play. We'll declare for air as the war goal, and we are techs ahead of everyone down here, so I don't foresee any problems with anybody. I think maybe I should tend to send the stack to Timbuktu, maybe? Air and ruler as a general. Air is okay. I guess I can send him on the stack, just if he does die, it's whatever. And then the Merc stack maybe can go to Yao. Our next government reform here. This one is not too bad, except for the loyalty. The autonomy changes, meh. Decentralized bureaucracy is okay. The minimum autonomy territory is always pretty good. I'm not going to have that many territories this game, so I'm not really feeling that one. Expanded royal court, always really solid option because you can always get that reform progress and switch to something else later. So I almost always take this. There are some instances where I don't, but expanded royal court, really, really good. Okay, from air, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all their provinces for myself and all that money. The aggressive expansion is non-existent here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to release them as a subject. This way it resets their opinion of me, so they like me. And I can feed them lots of stuff. I can also take this mission for the airstrike. It gives me permanent claims on a bunch of stuff down here as well as lets me discover it for free. And I get some claims to conquer some of these provinces as well. All right, let's go back to war here. I'm going to take pretty much everything from these guys. I co-belligerented Katsina and Borno, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything from both of them and then release both of them. I just want to be closer to my relations cap. I'll probably take the loyal subjects as well. And then once I have these three, eventually I might even have a fourth one in Yao. Once that truce expires with them and I can go back to war there, I can feed them everything in this region. And I can just have a bunch of really strong vassals over here before the colonizers try to take that from me. And then again, all of this trade is pushing up towards Safi and Tunis. So those are going to be my primary trade nodes to collect. I'll probably just collect in all 3 of these. And maybe I'll even go into Ethiopia at some point, try and push towards Alexandria. But collect in all 3 of these and pirate everywhere else. Yeah, I'm going to take this from Katsina. All of their land plus money. Unfortunately, I couldn't take everything because they pieced out of a war with a country that was over here and took all of that stuff. So they're over 100% war score to take both of them. So we're going to have to do separate pieces. It's fine. I'm ahead of time on dip, so it's only 112 dip. Not a big deal there. And then the next day, we're going to go ahead and take all of this plus money. This is only going to cost me 5, I think, here. And that looks pretty good to me. So now we can go ahead, we can release 2 more nations here. Actually, we'll go ahead and just do 3 of them. Screw it. Put this over our relation limit, but it's fine because we're going to go ahead and we're going to grant the strong duchies. I put it at exactly our relation limit. We did improve with England. I thought it might be valuable to get in alliance with them, considering that they are rivaled to Castile and France. It's very possible that they could be a strong ally as well. Making sure to raid the coasts pretty much on cooldown. Probably not being super efficient with this, but every time I check that these are blue or they're about to be blue, which means that they can be raided, I'm sending my ships out to go do that. So we're making quite a bit of money doing this. And we're building lots of buildings, so our economy is going to be pretty strong. Okay, so because I'm not going to be probably coring too many things, expanding as quickly anymore, I don't think I need the 5% CCR. I'm going to take the tax modifier. That's going to make me quite a bit of money just from taking the click from my subjects now. And that's also going to help improve my economy. Right now we're making from tax about 16.36. Now it's going to jump up to 18.12. So that's a significant amount of money increased. We can also start continuing to build our trade centers up here and our buildings. Right now, don't have too many buildings that are going to give more than like 0.1 or whatnot. Especially the production buildings, we've kind of built quite a few, as you can see. And manufactories are definitely not worth it to build just yet. Currently, the only ones we can build are the grain manufactories, and it's recommended not to do that because you need to be building soldiers' houses on those provinces because it makes your manpower a lot higher. So you want to prioritize soldiers' houses on grain, fish, and livestock. That's just the most efficient use of your building slots. All right, let's grab our next tech here. Now we're definitely ahead of time on the admin, so we did catch up thanks to our pretty great ruler that we had. Just like I said at the beginning of the video here. And I think the next idea group we're going to go for is either going to be... honestly, I think economic is probably the best one. We can just start snowballing our economy here, and then after a certain point, maybe we'll take maritime ideas. But I think economic is definitely the play. Considering we are ahead of time on our admin now, we can invest into our economy, and that's really going to help us snowball a little bit here. All right, so I knew this was coming. The Ottomans' truce timer with Karaman and Mamluks was not the same, so I figured they'd attack Karaman and call the Mamluks in before I was ready to go back to war with the Mamluks, which is fine. We'll just have to go to war with the Mamluks ahead of time. And then hopefully the Ottomans don't take too much and they actually give me some stuff. So I need to be occupying as much stuff as I possibly can. And maybe I'll even peace out before the Ottos do. So let's send our units over and deal with the Mams. We actually have some cannons now, so we should be able to siege pretty quickly. And here comes the Vassal Swarm. That's why I did that earlier, guys. Vassal Swarm is very OP if you can do it. And of course, they probably gave me nothing, didn't they? Yeah, they took a bunch of stuff and gave us nothing. Well, at least our truce is the same, so we can go back to war with the Mamluks whenever. Looks like it's going to be 1503. Dude, autos are going so hard right now, but I guess I'm going to accept it. Oh boy. Can you do this on your own? Probably. I'll lend some units to your help. I'm not like I'm struggling for manpower and I have nothing else to do, so might as well help the Ottomans out. And before they betray me and rival me in like T-minus 20 years. All right, truce with Yao expired. I'm going to go ahead and declare war on them. I think I'm just going to feed these provinces to my vassals. That way I'm not over the force limit, or the relations limit, rather. I could full annex them and release them that way as well and just be one over the relations limit. That wouldn't be a bad option either, but regardless, it's time to go to war. And I think, there's no point in co-belligerenting them. Let's just get this war over quick, and or we can sit in it as long as we need to, because we really can't hand those provinces off to anybody until we finish this war that the Ottomans dragged us into. All right, let's peace out Yao. We give all those provinces to our subject. Some of them were their cores, so that worked out pretty well. All right, Ottomans peaced out. They take some stuff. We get, what, nothing almost, pretty much? Yeah, they get some stuff in Wallachia, and then they got the cores back in Albania. But yeah, let's send our units back to our homeland and chill for a bit. Hopefully the Ottomans don't call us into any more crazy wars. They owe us a lot of favors. Just spend them all on trust. That way we max that out. And let's do this. Let's slacken. That costs us 1 professionalism. That's whatever. Then we can use our Muslim piety interaction for extra manpower. It's going to put us pretty much at our cap. So that's the nice thing about going a Sunni nation in mysticism. You can pretty much always stay topped off on manpower. Okay, let's ally Medina. The only reason I'm doing this is because, honestly, I think that I might be able to vassalize them. They're not quite at 100 development yet, and that'd be really great to just get a big vassal over here. We were so close. We were at 56 out of 59, and then their course finished, and their economic power base jumped up. But that would have been really great to get Medina. Then I could feed them all of the Arabian stuff, and then I have really strong Arabian vassals along with my African vassals. That would have been sweet. It can still happen, though. All right, let's declare war on the Mamluks. Again, we kind of sped 5 until we got here. I want to make sure that I can get all the occupations, and possibly, if the Ottomans finish their current war, we'll call them into this war. That way we can control the truce timer, and then they can't really take anything that we don't let them, which will be great. And then I think after we get basically this province here, we can get a free vassal in Medina because the distance between borders will be negated, which will be really, really nice too. All right, let's call in the Ottomans just so we can control the truce. They will not accept. Wow. You just said you would accept 2 seconds ago, dude. Come on. Maybe the month tick. If I promise them land, they will accept. Well, that's ridiculous. I just gave you 200 ducats and you didn't pay your debt off with it too. That's kind of ridiculous, dude. There we go. There we go. You finally paid off some debt. Excellent. Let's call you in, control our truce timers with you. That way they can't declare the Mamluks on their own. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's send this demand to the Mamluks. I'm pretty much just going to take nice borders here, and then I can possibly get expansion routes down into the Horn of Africa here. And then, yeah, more or less, let's just do this. Aggressive expansion, not really a thing here. So we can just go ahead and do that. I can probably concentrate from a state or two down here. And that's going to let me pretty much core everything up. I might buy this down a little bit just to save some admin. It's going to be rather expensive to core all this stuff up. And we have enough, which is good. Now that we have a border with these guys, I think we might be able to get a free vassal, though. Let's see after the month take what happens here. Ooh, 5 away. Wow. We need to get more economic power here. Also, our relations dropped a little bit because of the aggressive expansion. Yeah, minus 38. So close, so close. And we're going back to war with Hungary. Awesome. I think I'm going to pop the golden era now because Reformation is spawning soon. I want to be able to use it for the next 50 years or so. Here it is. We must have ticked over somehow, gained a little bit more difference in government, maybe. But yeah, we can get a free vassal of Medina now. Beautiful. That's awesome. So I think what I'm going to try and do is set everything over here to desired and see if I can make them build some claims. And then we can try and just more or less just start eating these smaller nations in the Arabian Peninsula. And having a big vassal over here is really going to help us out. Well, finally, the Ottomans pieced out. So they took another big chunk out of Hungary, and we got, like, what, 10 prestige from that whole war? So, thanks, buddy. But, yeah, at least the Ottomans are getting a little bit stronger. Hopefully they can do their own wars. I could always, and I think because they want my provinces, I might just keep this turned on, but you can always set to that you won't join their wars. They might not like that, but it should be fine. So right now I have 2 options for wars. I could go right into Castile. I think it would definitely be a fight in our favor, considering that Aragon is disloyal and wouldn't help in the war effort. And that's like 42,000 of their men and 32,000 of their manpower. So that's like a significant portion. Almost half of Castile's men are from Aragon. So it would definitely be a war in our favor. But I also think I could probably just wait a little bit. I think I want my navy to be a little bit stronger. That way I know I can beat Castile plus Portugal plus France at sea. So I'm going to build a lot more galleys in the near future and just kind of play in Africa here and in Arabia. And then eventually I'll go back to war with them. Aragon is disloyal yet. They have support from the Ottomans and England. So if they declare their independence war, I might be able to do something. Maybe fight Castile for the stuff down here and just jump on that war separately. So I think for right now, we're gonna focus on Africa, and I want to declare war on Songhai, and we'll call in Nupe. That way I can give my vassals a little bit more land down here. We're gonna take Azawag as a war goal, and we're gonna get moving down here. We're gonna spend a little bit of dip down here, just making our subjects stronger, pretty much annexing everybody we can. We're gonna take all but 1 province from Songhai here, and then we're gonna hopefully have our subjects build a bunch of claims over in Timbuktu and the surrounding areas. And we'll just go back to war when those truces expire. I think Timbuktu, we don't have a truce with, but if we can get some claims on them, that would be great. Yeah, I might actually do this. That way I can get more claims over here. Yeah, let's do that. No real threat of coalition. 109 dip, but we're ahead of time, so it's fine. All right, let's get the wars in Arabia started. Once I eat Dawasir, I should be able to feed them all of these guys down here, and then I'll null Hormuz's alliances in this war. So should be able to feed Medina most of this. All right, let's peace out Dawasir for everything they have plus some money. What I'd like to do is I'd like to start setting vital interest all over here. That way my subject starts building some claims. Oh no, tragically our heir died. Whatever will I do? Yeah, that is a much better heir than the one we had. For the next government reform, I thought about taking one of the naval ones, but honestly, I think our innate naval ideas are going to be pretty strong, so might as well just take the, military engineering for the barrage cost. I think that's just more valuable. We can't call the Ottomans into this war to control their truce timer, but I think at this point the Mamluks really, I don't really care if the Ottomans take a little bit of land over here in Syria, so let's just go ahead and declare the war. I can feed Medina quite a bit of land here, so I think that's what I'll end up doing. Let's go down and peace out Yemen. I think that's probably wise. And then Hassa, I'd like to annul their alliances. Trying to save for our institution, and luckily we can raid our coast right about now, so that's fortunate timing. We should be able to afford that institution really quickly. We're about 100 ducats away from the institution. All right, let's buy that. It's rather expensive, but I think it's worth it. And then let's take all of the techs. We'll upgrade my units right away. I don't think these guys can jump on top of me, so let's go ahead and upgrade my cannons and my cav, I believe. And the next idea set is ready to go. I could take another military idea group. That wouldn't be too bad. I'm leaning towards either maritime or trade, honestly. I think the privateer efficiency would be pretty sweet. Also, it's probably pretty important to get the naval force limit if I need that achievement. I can always go over the force limit. It's not a big deal. So maybe the force limit really doesn't matter. In which case, diplomatic or influence would be a better idea group. I think I'm going to go for diplomatic. I think that influence is fine, but I'm honestly probably just going to integrate my subjects naturally once absolutism gets here. I'll have to play it that long just to get the force limit for all the boats anyways. So let's just go ahead and take diplomatic. The war score cost is really big. That's going to be pretty important. I might even be able to form the caliphate eventually. So diplomatic ideas it is. All right, looks like Spain formed, and that's unfortunate because Aragon's men were pretty valuable. Although their total overall ability to afford all those men went down a little bit, so maybe it'll be a little bit easier. Who knows? They're going to probably delete some units and delete some boats, so that could make it a little easier to go to war with them. You do something like this. Take Cyprus and all of this stuff. That's not too bad. Cost me 50 dip. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, looks like I'm about to declare war on Hormuz as well. I just want to make sure that Arabia gets cleaned up before the Ottomans get in there. It's definitely going to become very valuable, especially when I become the Mamluks later on. I think I'm definitely going to be going for the 2 Mamluk achievements, one by getting rid of the Ottomans and having 100 professionalism, and then the other one by exporting grain to all the continents. So those are going to be my late-term goals. I should still be able to get Barbarossa when I do that because I'm not going to be switching cultures to Egyptian. I'm just going to be hitting the button in my decisions to form the Mamluks, which I believe lets me keep my primary culture. Well, I am glad that I waited. I believe Medina had some missions they completed via getting some of these provinces, so now I should be able to just feed them the entire peninsula and have no problems. They'll be a major subject. I will integrate them later on. Maybe influence would have been the better idea choice here. I could always change it if I think I'm ahead on dip. No, I think the war score cost is definitely still better. I can get influence ideas later on, though. All right, let's try and eat up Hormuz. Declare that war right away. Let's declare this war, too, while there are no allies here. We'll send this stack down to fight Mykolaiv. And then after that, probably the Rassids, because I don't think they really have any other allies other than Ethiopia. So should be pretty quick victories. Well, let's peace out for something like this. Medina gets a little bit bigger. Baluchistan pieced out of Hormuz, but they released Oman, which is now guaranteed by them. I think I'm just going to declare war on them right away here. There's no point in really waiting. These units are going to siege this down, no problem. I should send the rest of these guys to deal with Baluchistan themselves. It probably won't let me go across the strait, but if I can get over there, that'd be great. All right, let's peace out Mykolaiv for the Medina conquest. Currently, I'm a little bit scared because Ottomans don't want to be my friend anymore. They really want my stuff. So I knew that was going to happen eventually. I just wish that they'd help me with Spain first, because look at this alliance block. All right, you got Portugal and France, and guess who Defender of the Faiths is? That's right, it's Austria. So if we fought Spain right now, I mean, it's not going to be looking good. So I think at a certain point in the future, maybe during the League War or something, we can use our navy to have the war goal base Sicily and make sure that we can control the strait here. If we fight in the Maghreb, I think we'll win. We just have to control the war goal and then just have a really long, drawn-out war and peace out everybody for white peace. So that's more or less the game plan there. I really am not looking forward to it. I might as well use the Ottomans while I have them. I think I'm going to declare war on Mara here. We're going to make this the war goal because it's easily accessible, and we're going to hope that the Ottomans really come through for us here. That'll improve our relations with them a little bit, but after this war, they're probably going to break the alliance. All right, so we peace out Oman. We did declare on Yas, our truce expired with them. We can probably take all these guys out all at once. Looking at Rasids, we can fight them in Ethiopia right after this war, and then Yemen when the truce expires. But more or less, all of Arabia is now going to be ours. All right, let's separate peace, everybody. This is going to cost us some dip, which is unfortunate because we're trying to do a dip idea group. But I think it's definitely worth it. I'm making no progress down here because the Ottoman AI is just glitching out. Just look at this. This has been happening for like a year. All right, we're annexing the Rasids now. And let's annex Mara here. I do have this province for myself here. There might be some, yeah, there's some peasants on there. I can't really transfer that over yet. I guess I have to wait for them to move and then we can send some boats over. In which case I do need a transport singular. So let's just go build one right here. Oh my God, Poland just got Russia as a junior partner. No way. Austria's gonna get their, oh my God, they're gonna get their butt rocked. No way. Okay. Oh my goodness, if Austria doesn't join, this is my moment. Get your units on the border with Spain, bro. All right, this is my moment. Even odds. Spain's men, I guarantee they have a bunch in the New World, and I bet you my navy beats them inside the Med. So we're gonna declare the war. We're gonna send all our units, or some of our units, over to Sicily to siege, and the rest are gonna kind of play defensive. I'm sure France is just gonna come all the way down here through the through Gibraltar. So if we can just get onto Gibraltar and hold it, we should be fine. So let's just declare the war. Syracuse is the war goal. I will get an admiral. That's fine. Hopefully we can hold Quenta. And since this is probably the most important war of this campaign, we're going to go ahead and pop this 20 years of morale of armies. That's going to be really helpful. If we're looking over at the army quality comparison, we kind of needed that. Spain is quite a bit of morale. Okay, so we basically occupied Sicily, and we're parking this stack of transports plus a couple other boats that were a little worse for wear that we healed up in port over here just to make sure that nobody crosses and takes the war goal back. Ottomans are actually kicking butt in Italy right now, so eventually they'll probably move into France and we can piece them out. And then I'm gonna take this fort, and then I'm gonna move over to Portugal and piece them out. Are we able to white piece out France here? That's gonna make it a lot easier. Yeah, I'm gonna have Portugal release Morocco. I think it's probably better than separate piecing them non-co-belligerent for the provinces. It's just a lot of aggressive expansion, especially when my peace deal with Spain looks something like this. 186. I'm going to take it. I don't think that the coalition's going to fire, and everyone's in Europe, and I mean, clearly I have naval dominance. No one's even landed in the Maghreb, so I think it would be a fine war, especially if I control the strait. So actually, if that's the case, then I'm not going to have them release Morocco. I'm just going to take it then. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that, and we'll core those provinces. Maybe send these guys to Madrid. Okay, let's take all of this. I think that's a fair peace deal. It's going to cause some huge aggressive expansion, so I'm going to have to try and improve relations with all these guys, but I don't see a problem. I don't think they're actually going to declare on me. And if they do, I might be a little bit screwed. But yeah, we're going to piece these guys out, immediately declare on the Mamluks, because I need to fight them before they join the coalition. And then I'm going to go back to war with the nations in Africa. I don't think they're on this list, so they shouldn't join the coalition, so there's no rush there. More or less, when Spain is, the truce is up, we just need to declare on them right away before they join the coalition, then I'm sure they will want to. 195 aggressive expansion for Spain right now. Just Sunnis attacking the Christians does not bode well for the Sunni nations most of the time. So let's we take a little bit of money as well, might as well. Give the Ottomans some of that, but let's send the peace deal. I'll concentrate where I can. Guess I can concentrate everywhere. That's nice. I will buy that down one time, and then we'll try and core all. We have enough admin for it, so it should be a-okay there. Let's send our units back this way, and I need to declare on the Mamluks like yesterday. We do get to seize the Isles mission, so the galley combat ability for 20 years. And we also get permanent claims on Crete and Rhodes. I think I'm going to wait on that. Might as well save that modifier. It's only 20 years, and my truce is going to be pretty long with Spain, so I should save that for a little while longer. All right, let's declare on the Mamluks before they join a coalition. All right, let's piece out the Mamluks here. That's going to full annex them. We're also going to take Hassa as well. We co-belligerented them in this war too. A little bit more aggressive expansion for us, but Totally worth it. We eliminate the tag. That'll let us become the Mamluks in the future when we go for the Mamluk achievements. But those will be a while. We have to actually full annex the Ottomans, or at least make sure they don't exist at a certain point to get those achievements. But yeah, at least we have that taken care of. We could form Al-Andalus, but I'd rather form the Mamluks because we've already have the Andalusia achievements. So time to peace out and eliminate this tag. Ottomans called us into war with Venice. I figured we'd accept because that'll just give us some truces. And that'll be helpful because we need those truces, otherwise the coalition's going to get out of hand. But in the meantime, we're going to go to war with Timbuktu. We're going to co-belligerent Yatenga. And this is going to be... We're going to take a lot of stuff from them. The main thing that I really want down here is I want this province for myself because I want that tech cost discount. It's just a really valuable monument to get. There's one more down here too that is valuable for the Sunnis. It's over here in Jenne. This one gives you Piety Accelerator, which is super, super valuable for keeping my manpower up with the religious interaction. So we can convert this province to Sunni, and then we can get that Piety Acceleration. The missionary strength is super good as well. That'll help us convert all of the Catholic stuff we'll be taking really quickly. So go ahead and declare the war. We'll move on to Timbuktu, and we'll send this guy over to this fort. All right, we are in the danger zone now. The Ottomans have broken their alliance with us. We have 5 years before we need to be really scared. In the meantime, hopefully... this coalition does not attack on us. If anything, France will probably declare for Corsica, and I need some allies. So let's look and see who we could ally. Maybe not many people want to be my friend. It's honestly, well, okay, that's just misleading because we're at war. Kilwa could be my friend. That's a good ally. England would be my friend. That's a great ally. I could do England and Delhi maybe. I'd like a European ally. I could be allies with a lot of these guys. Okay. That's reassuring. Looking at the coalition, okay, it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. We're totally fine. Let's spend some dip over here. We can't full annex Benin, but we're pretty close, so I think it's definitely worth it. We're going to peace out Bonneman here, and now we can peace out Timbuktu for pretty much everything we want. I'll have to wait 24 days in order for you to get the diplomat back, but now all we have for nations down here that are independent is just the one province, Benin, and then Timbuktu has a few more provinces after this. I don't know what I want from them yet, but 5% aggressive expansion. 5% aggressive expansion impact is actually pretty huge. What I could do is take the coastline. That way nobody else can get in here. Something like that wouldn't be too bad. Okay, let's peace out for this. I'm going to give the provinces to air manually. That way I can just take more provinces because I have better provincial war score cost reduction. So we're going to give this all to air. We are looking a lot stronger now as far as diplomat mode goes. Lots of subjects down here, just Timbuktu over here in this region. Here's got some nice name placement with the desert filled in, which is kind of cool. But the Ottomans not being friendly with me makes me very nervous. So we just need to make sure that our military can handle it. Currently, let's see if I'm on my own here. I'm not sitting too bad. I'm at 289. That's not too bad comparatively to Spain, who's got a lot of manpower and reserves. But I think overall we should be fine. I don't think the coalition is going to fire on me at all. Although the coalition is way bigger than me at the moment. Ooh, I wonder if my aggressive expansion was really high last time because I was over my gov cap. That might have been the case. If so, that was a huge mistake. I don't think so, because I kind of just statified a bunch of stuff, so maybe that's not the case. This is a super weak league war. If only I was on the continent of Europe, I could join it and get some truces with these guys, but it should be okay. I mean, look at the coalition. It's kind of fallen off now. Mostly just France and Austria that make it look scary. All right, it's now or never. The truce just expired, and before they join the coalition with Portugal and France and make my life really, really annoying, we're going to declare on Spain for the second time now. We're going to try and blitz down Portugal as fast as we possibly can. I don't know where all Spain's men are, but they only have, as far as I know, 26k down here. I haven't seen any other stacks. I'm sure they're all in the New World just putzing around. I mean, Spanish Peru, you know, I'm sure they're doing pretty good in Mexico. I mean, they were having a pretty good game until I showed up. All right, let's peace out France for just money. That's a lot of money, and definitely need it, that's for sure. Let's send our boats back home. Now it's literally just Spain and then one of the native vassals that they have. So I can probably just march down to Florence here and southern Italy, and they should want to peace out. They'll peace out for everything I want for as far as land goes right now. Maybe I just end the war and call it a day. You know what? Let's do it. I kind of want to recover. This coalition is going to be a little bit of a little rough again, but I think we'll be okay. Just like I mentioned before, just have to make sure that I have I'm prepared in case I ever get declared on, which I don't think I'd ever lose a coalition war at this stage of the game, at least not something that's this small. The big powers, Spain, Portugal, France, whatnot, we're beating them pretty handedly anyways. Looks like Austria's in there too, but I don't think any of them really want my land aside from the French and the Spanish, really, and the Portuguese. But as long as I'd keep declaring on them when the truces are up, I should be okay. So let's just go ahead and send that demand. We'll use our diplomats to make sure that the coalition kind of falls off. But with that, we can upgrade ourselves to a empire, and we can let a day pass. Oh, we have to core these up first. Well, let's get the cores rolling. I wonder if I can do any concentration. I probably should, right? Save myself a bunch of admin this way. We're going to be overextended for quite some time. And just like that, the cores finish, and we get the achievement Sons of Carthage. As Tunis own and have cores on Sicily, Sardinia, the Balearic Islands, the coast of Algiers, and the southern coast of Spain. This has been quite the campaign so far. I think we're doing solidly in the #1 great power spot. Once we embrace the next level of tech, we'll be surpassing the Ottomans very shortly in terms of total dev. But honestly, this is probably one of the stronger starts I've had in a little while playing in Africa. So this has been just super fun. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. In the next one, we're going to be trying for 3 different achievements here. The #1 being Barbarossa as a Maghrebi nation with Maghrebi culture. Have 500 light ships privateering at the same time. And then we're going to be flipping to the Mamluks, doing Breadbasket of the World and Levant Turnabout. Speaking of which, we might as well just do it now. It's going to force us to have a new heir. Honestly, not sure which of these to choose. I guess I can pick the young ruler. We're going to go for, let's see, how is our... He's okay. We're going to go for new traditions and ambitions. Those are pretty good. We can no longer raid coast. That's fine. We've done pretty much everything we need to. And we have a bunch of cores to reconquest against the Ottomans. And it'll be really cheap to integrate Medina now, since they have some of the Mamluk cores as well. So that's pretty hyped there. We also have a whole new set of missions, which are really, really good. I should have clicked the mission for the trade efficiency, or what was it, galley combat ability for 20 years. That's a little bit of a mistake on my part, but it's okay overall. All right, let's go ahead and click through these missions here. 1,000 minarets, so urban planning event. We get 5 crown land ownership, access to export grain, economic diplomatic action. Okay, well that's important. We need to be using that. Alexandrian trade, we can construct trade buildings in provinces, grant 5 prosperity. We can choose between a few different things here. Trade power for the estuaries, or we can gain mercantilism and local goods produced. And we can export grain to a few more countries. I think we should take the grain exporting, so let's go ahead and select that. Let's go ahead and take the City of the Caravans. We can get the Eclipse Morocco finished. Spend some ducats and get some prosperity and development in Fez. Fez is in a state, so we could do that. That's pretty good. 800 ducats for 9 dev plus some prosperity. We'll take it. We'll have to take out a loan for it, though. Holy Cities, Unite Arabia. That's going to give the Nizwa Fort a +1. I could hold on to that until we annex Medina, but might as well just take it now. We can get some events about coffee production. 1 base production for every coffee province, or low equilibrium and base tax on coffee provinces +1. I think the base production is probably better. And we can select a naval enterprise. The galley combat ability, we already have naval doctrine that's pretty strong, so I might not want to change it. The light ship cost is pretty good, considering we need to have a lot of light ships. We can gain 100 splendor and a permanent claim on Thrace. Now more or less we just need to invade the Ottomans here. Doing a reconquest would be actually huge. And I think we just win. It does look like we cannot get the Levant Turnabout achievement. Wiki says that you have to be the Mamluks, but it probably means you have to start as the Mamluks inside the achievement code. But regardless, we can still get the Breadbasket of the World and Barbarossa. So if you want to see that video, make sure to subscribe and like the video down below. And leave a comment about what achievement you think I should do next. With that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video.